Whether you keep them in your home or love to see them in theirs, these are the creatures that bring us all together.
Reptiles. We're going to be delving into the experiences of reptile lovers from around the block and around the world. This is the Reptile Talk Podcast.
Boom! What is up, everybody? This is Jeremy Turgeon from Reptiles.
And I'm Rob, and I'm keeping it real.
And we're back after yet another hiatus because Rob and I can't stay still for more than a week at a time, apparently.
Yeah. That's okay. Big fun things have been happening, and we're gearing up, and we got a whole bunch of episodes planned for this week. So
this is true. Yeah, this week is going to be epic. If you missed any of that announcement, you can check it out on the Reptile Talk Facebook page and Instagram. Tonight, we're talking with the awesome Billy Hunt, and then we're going to be talking with Gavin from Balls to You on Sunday, kind of earlier in the day to accommodate the time change, and then we got Brian Potter.
If you are not ready, you better be wearing 2 pairs of underwear for that episode because Brian Potter episode is going to be wild.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty intense. I told Brian I wanted the entire episode to be McCurley and Pete call stories.
Oh my God.
That's what I wanted an hour of. So
this one's going to be rated R.
It's going to be fun for sure. Before we bring Billy on, Rob, how are you doing, dude? What's good? You just went herping. We hung out.
We hung out. We did a little bit of herping. We didn't see any hog nose snakes. So we did see lots of fence lizards and still saw some cool stuff. So that was chill. And then I had blood pythons hatch out recently. Most of the carpet pythons are just about ready to go. I've been super lazy about posting stuff on Morph Market, which means I have not posted anything on Morph Market yet. I just kind of posted them on my Instagram story and was like, if you're interested, message me. And I sold a few. Selling things is such a pain in the butt, man.
Imagine just being able to say, if you're interested, you know what to do. And then it actually works. You're probably the only guy that works for.
Well, the carpet pythons, most of it has been the West Papuans, the non-jag animals. And I was like, look, I just want people who want a cool pet snake. I really don't want them to go people who are going to breed them. And the people who reach out to me, I know they just like their pet snakes. So right. I'm totally cool with sending those out. And, I'm glad that they're going to get a cool snake that they like. And I don't have to worry about it going and messing up all bloodline, all that sort of stuff. So
true.
That's cool.
True. Very true.
Well, what about you? What the heck? What about you?
What is going on? What is going on here? I'm doing too much as always. I'm just running at a million miles an hour. I just got back from Georgia yesterday. Was out there for a few days. I've been out there hanging at Raining Reptiles, my friend Moore's shop, and then I've also been working on a big recording a record in Atlanta as well. So it's been crazy. I just finished doing that this past week. So things Things settled down for a little bit. Now we're just hatching snakes. I'm waiting next week Brettles pythons start hatching.
Boom. And then there will be 500 Brettles pythons.
Yeah. Interesting story. I'm going to say this. I'll be very fast, and then we'll get Billy on here because I see his tiny muted square at the bottom. He's like, any day now they're going to bring me onto this podcast. So I bred like everything this year, like everything that was ready to go. I bred, also anticipating not much to go because of the move. I had to figure out the quirks of the room, and Brettles pythons do require a little bit more attention, getting them cooled, and they're later breeders than the other Morelia. So I was like pairing stuff up. And anybody that follows me know I've got 2 clutches on the ground so far from the Brettles pythons, from the G-stripe to het and the stonewash to het. So that'll be great. And then I had pure hypo to hypo pairing, and then a pure hypo to an Aphors line girl that I was also working on. And so I have 2.1 pure hypo Brettles, 100% hypo blood. That was what I thought. So I'm pairing up this male hypo to the female hypo and to the Afors. And I don't see any locks, but you never always catch every lock, especially with carpet pythons. So I'm not really thinking anything of it. And the girls are growing, like follicles are growing. And I travel so much, I also don't expect to catch ovulation. So I really try to keep track of shed cycles. So don't see any ovulations, but I start seeing sheds, and I'm like, okay, all right, we're getting close. This is when this should be happening. And then all of a sudden, girls are like slamming food. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
So I'm palpating, and now I'm feeling follicles have gotten smaller. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't understand. So then I start questioning everything. Turns out I have 1.2 Hypobrettles and not 2.1. And ironically, they were sexed by the illustrious Nick Mutton. So I don't know if that got messed up somewhere, but I've been throwing this female in with other females, and so I'm gonna lose 2 clutches of Brettles this year, but I'm actually okay with that because I'm already running out of rack space. So
yeah,
I don't need another 50 Brettle pythons this year. But
it sounds like you could use a black box rack for hatchlings. This is just what I'm saying.
I could probably use quite a few, actually.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is going to be probably the most epic intro ever because Rob is going to introduce everything about Billy right now, and it's going to be the greatest. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. I'm going to bring Billy on just so we can watch his reaction in real time. Hi, Billy.
Without further ado, we have Senor Billy Hunt. How's it going, man?
You're not going to say his name?
That's it.
I'll try and say it, dude. I always mess it up. I'm pretty sure it's Uwabami Reptiles, right?
Boom!
Right?
There it is.
Yeah.
That's
Damn.
it.
Now, I want to preface by saying that for probably a good 6 months, talking to Rob about getting Billy on the podcast, he's like, a boom boom, a boom boom.
Oh man,
I had a tough time. I never said I was smart. I just.
Well, I mean, it's different, so
It is very different. I like that it kind of sets you apart from a lot of the other people who breed carpet pythons.
That was part of the idea behind it. So it's done its job.
Yeah, hell yeah! Where did you actually come up with the name for the people who might not have heard of you?
So actually, my sister came up with it. I wanted to do something different than just like BH reptiles or exotics or something. Like I said, I wanted to be set apart, and we just came across Uwabami, and it's Japanese for snake and python, all that. It kind of is a catch-all, and then the Kenji character that I have in my logo too also means snake, so it all kind of tied together.
Heck yeah!
Hell yeah! That's sweet. That's sweet, man. You just had to listen to all of us talk about our season. What do you got going on this year?
Yes.
Well, this year wasn't as productive as I wanted it to be. I paired a lot of stuff, but I had a lot of things happen at the beginning of the breeding season that kept me away from the collection as much as I would want to be. So, long story short, I paired probably 20 pairs or so. And I have 3 clutches to show for it, maybe.
Sometimes that's just how it goes, man.
Yeah, the ups and downs. It's the cycles of it. So I did have a clutch of Nova Guineas. They've hatched and they're feeding and stuff. So, I mean, that's already a successful season there, right?
Yeah.
And I got a clutch of Ridley Eye eggs that are incubating now. And I just got a clutch of Brettles today, actually.
Dude, hell yeah.
Today. So I didn't think my setup would work with Brettles, especially being in Florida and how I can't really brumate anything. So the fact that I got fertile eggs from Brettles is I'm just super excited about it. I always shied away from them because of that reason, and now that I know I can pull it off, it kind of opens the door for me for other winter breeder stuff.
Hell yeah, that's sweet. How many eggs you end up with in the Ridley Eye clutch?
I got 6.
Sweet. That's solid. A solid clutch.
Yeah, first colubrid eggs I've ever gotten. So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
a lot of firsts this year. I say it's a bad year, but I'm getting a lot of firsts. So
If
maybe
the
it's
things are gonna go, I mean Ridley Eye and Breadlie,
yeah, yeah,
that's not
and
that bad in my
Novas.
eyes. Yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely. So okay, so now I'm curious because I was also trying to tweak stuff in my reptile room to work for the Brettles. So how cool were you able to get your Brettles, if at all?
so so I have my main snake room. This is upstairs
Mhm.
in my house. It's just a regular bedroom in my house, and downstairs I have kind of an overflow area, and it just naturally gets colder. And it got down into the mid 60s, and it would just naturally, go up during the day and stuff. And I had those down there. I had the Chinese beauties down there. A lot of the bigger colubrid stuff too. I got an infertile clutch from the Chinese beauties, but I think I made some mistakes with other things besides the temperature with them. So hopefully next year I can figure it out. But it's perfect for the Brettles. So uh, I have two females, so I might have the second one going. She's not showing all the signs, but she's really thick. So we'll see. I might end up with two clutches of them, but time will tell.
Hell
Dude, hell
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. That's actually about the same temperature gradient I got on my Brettle. So I have them all on the bottom of the rack, which I've always done. But yeah, being in the 60s, I was like, I don't know. We're cutting it kind of
Well,
close.
that's what you always hear, and I've heard of guys breeding them just like regular carpets. Just get them into the high to mid 70s, and they'll go. Maybe not consistently, but you hear so many different things, and there's so many different ways to breed these animals. And I really buy into the rhythm of the room concept.
Mm-hmm.
So I had them downstairs for a season before I tried them this season, so they kind of got acclimated to how things went. And uh, I think that helped out a lot too. So
Heck
Hell
yeah.
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 Did you try breeding them last year or no?
No, I didn't. I wanted them to get. I honestly wasn't really confident that I could get them to go anyway. If you want to be honest,
Yeah.
so I was like, all right, well, I'll get some more size on them and do all that, and then I just put them together, and it's a hypo stonewash female, or two hypo
Mm.
stonewash females, and then I rotated a hypo stonewash male and a hypo male through, and the hypo male he's a monster, man. He locked every time with everything I put him with. So uh, I'm fairly confident they'll all be hypo het stonewash when they hatch out. But uh, that's not a bad thing either. I like the hypo look, so
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
good stuff.
And also with all this floating around, stonewash just popping up in random clutches and stuff, it wouldn't even
Yeah,
surprise me if you end up with hypo stonewash in there.
possibly. Yeah, you never know. Well, I think because seems like the Brettles market, it's not the biggest market, and I mean they produce a lot of eggs, and people, especially with stripes, will pop up in different clutches. People just sell hets as normals because
Right.
Mhm.
there's a point where people want normals instead of hets. For
Yep.
whatever reason, a normal animal that is a het is different to certain people just because it's a het. It's like, no, it's still a normal. You don't have to breed it. It could
Yep.
still be that pet. It just, it has that single copy, but it could be that. I know Stonewash has popped up in different lines. I think it popped up in the hypo line and the LASIK line. So there's, I think it was the LASIK line. Don't quote me on that. Casey will probably yell at me later if I got it wrong.
That was not my shit.
It's gonna hunt you down at Daytona.
Right.
All right. Well, he was here the other day, so who knows? He might just make a trip back down just to smack me around.
Dude, the pics I was seeing from that, I was so hyped,
Yeah.
dude. I was looking at that, so I was like, wait a second, where's it? Why is he hiding all this shit? What the fuck,
Yeah.
man?
No. Right.
I don't. I probably should share more stuff than I do. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff, so I don't know.
Dude, I feel that though, because like literally people will be like, oh, like, have you ever worked with this thing? And I'm like, oh yeah, I got one of those. And I posted on my Instagram and I look back, I'm like, where did I when was the last time I posted this? Oh, I
Yeah.
posted it 2 years ago. I haven't posted it in 2 years. My bad. It's chilling. I got it here. I just forgot to take pictures of it. I've been focused so much on the scrubs, I just forget to take pictures of stuff.
Yeah, I have a lot of projects. I'm sure you guys know, like we all do, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this past weekend, I had Phil, Casey, Skylar Williams. I don't know if you guys know him yet. Super cool guy. And they come and check out the collection. And Phil and Casey have seen it a few times, so they pretty much know what I have. I have new stuff every now and then, but seeing Skylar check out everything and see just him get excited about stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, this stuff is awesome. Like I feel like I'm always looking towards the next thing, the thrill of the hunt that we all get caught up in. And it was good to have him get really excited about the things I see every day. And I'm like, man, not to be like ego driven, but it's like I do have cool stuff. Why am I not completely happy with what I have? Why do I keep chasing the next thing? Sometimes you need that someone to put it in perspective.
Real. Hell yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
One that gets to open the drawer every day or go in the cage every day. You just get used to it. So
seriously, yeah. Yeah.
Like that first month, you're like, hell yeah. And then after that, you're like, all right, this is the 50th cage I have to clean today. And
yeah, this Maclot's gonna tear me up. Here we go again.
I so totally feel that.
Oh yeah, it happens.
Yeah, dude, with the stuff that I just hatched out, I was like expecting something else, and when I didn't get that, I was like, oh man, that's a bummer. And then I'm looking at them now and I'm like, I still hatch out some badass, like these snakes are like gonna be really red and they're fully striped. Like, why am I'm not bummed out, but I was just like, I've got to appreciate these things because they are so nice. It's just, when you get stuck in that kind of tunnel vision of like, oh, I'm going to produce this type of thing. If you don't hit that, or, you're off a little bit, it just, it's easy to lose track of like how special and how cool some of these creatures are,
Yeah, absolutely. And like it sucks saying that, but if we're honest with ourselves, we all do that,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have that reset button. And KJ came by too. So KJ always likes the stuff that, like, I'll show him different things. Like I have some old school Lemke line coastals. I always make sure I show him, and he appreciates that stuff. And the normal coastals, and I'm like, hey, this looked interesting when it hatched. I'm keeping it. What do you think? And so he recharges me on that stuff too. The not morph stuff, not crazy things. Just, man, it's just a normal coastal, but look at this pattern. Look at this head stamp.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's funny how everybody has their own things that they hone in on when they, check stuff out.
The Spilotes, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So, yeah, you'll see a picture of that one in a couple days. I just got a really good one of her. So, stand by.
Yeah, I saw the picture that when she was all curled up, and I was like, "Oh man, that snake is incredible."
Yeah, Jason's doing well with those animals. He's doing.
Didn't he just hatch out another clutch recently?
I was gonna say, I think I just saw it.
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
He's hatched like. Freaking guy. He's hatched like 50 blackheads, probably 20 or 30 tigers. He's got Bacillinotus eggs on the ground. He's got sulfurous eggs on the ground. And he's like, he just talks about what hasn't gone. Yeah. Like, Jason, you literally are having a better season than my whole breeding career in like a matter of 3 months. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Rob, I think we know somebody that's the exact same way.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. It's like, oh man, look at this. It's funny. Lenny just hatched out some cool chocolate clown combo ball pythons, and we were geeking out over them. And there's a pastel clown in the clutch. And we're like, oh man, the pastel clown, blah blah blah. And then we're like looking at each other and we're like, bro, could you imagine 10 years ago if we hit a pastel clown, we'd be like losing our friggin' minds. And now pastel clown. Oh, it's a male. Get it out of here. You know?
Just give it to a kid for free at a show. Here's a new pet guy. You know, yeah.
Exactly. It's like, oh man, it's crazy to think about that, but yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I remember the first lesser clowns I saw. Brock Wagner brought them to Daytona years ago, and I really like the lesser gene in that color palette. You know, that khaki tan stuff. And seeing it, the price tag was ridiculous. You know, as the new morphs always are. And seeing them now, you know, like you can get a male for like $200. Like,
$200, yeah,
God,
200, 250 bucks.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
You know, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man. So okay, so for those people who maybe they follow you, but maybe still don't really know you have quite the diverse collection, and I feel like people who are listening now are kind of getting a glimpse of that. So can you just give us a glimpse of that spectrum of what you're working with?
Okay. Well, the vast majority is carpet pythons and Morelia. So I have IJs, jungles, coastals are a big one for me, and some crosses, some morph stuff. Outside of that, green trees. Just got into ATBs again. Your girl's doing great, by the way. Yeah.
Yes.
I caught that bug pretty bad. I'm catching the tree bug really bad right now. I'm up to like 7 or 8 already, like in a matter of like 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
See those Mac lots. I got a lone olive running around. What else? Some Antaresia that I can't wait to get rid of. Those things they're just not for me. I try, but they're not for me. Rob's favorite, my Jag Pondros and Carpondro project.
Hold on, let me do that into the mic.
He always loves them. He loves when I bring him out to shows and he can look at them and stuff. I have to take him out of his hand because he won't stop holding them and appreciating them.
Yeah. I'm here for all of that.
I thought we were friends.
You know I have them. You know I have them. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the Boyd stuff. Oh, actually, no. I guess I gotta admit it. I got into balls, so I got a couple balls now. So those are fun.
Ball python, so.
That's around.
Yeah, we all got them.
Yeah, I fought it for a long time, and I know I messaged you a while back about it. I don't know if you remember that or not. I was like, oh, I'm thinking this, thinking that. And
oh yeah.
finally pulled the trigger on it. So got a couple of those. They're cool. And outside of that, I got a lot of old world rat snake stuff.
Yes.
Most of the beauties got blues, Taiwans, Ridley Eye, and Chinese. Radiated rats and yellow striped rats. I really like the Colignathus genus. Those animals are just incredible to me. Let's see, what else do I got? Put me on the spot here. Japanese rats. Those are a big one.
Hell yeah.
I mean, naturally, blue and green snakes. Does it get better than that?
Yeah.
Rhino rats. Trinket snakes. Honduran
I was just about to ask if you had trinkets.
Yeah. I have one male. I've gotten 2 females in the past, and I just can't seem to get them over the hump, like past that hatchling stage.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm feeding them too big of a prey item or what's going on. I know they're coming from Europe, so I've heard mixed things on how that stuff does once it gets over here. Yeah. I don't know if it's that, or it could just be the genus. Colignathus is known for just rolling on you anyway. That's just kind of a genus thing from what I've researched and understood. So who knows? So if anyone has females out there, has a lead on one, don't hesitate to reach out. Same plug there. Let's see. I mean, that's the bulk of it, honestly. And the Spilotes and the Pacillinotus and stuff like that.
How big are your radiateds?
So I have a pair of animals that were sold to me as Borneo locale animals. They're 2017s, and they are about 4 5.5 feet, maybe. Just on like medium mice. Like they're staying small, and they were ridiculously small when I got them. Like I think they were fresh out of the egg. Like I think they hatched and that same day were shipped to me. Maybe it was cut and then
Damn.
the egg was cut, they were taken out and then shipped to me. Like they were that small. But my male is absolute, like he's a corn snake. It's ridiculous how nice he is. The female makes up for it. She's irradiated through and through. But the male, that's the one I take out. I'm like, hey, check out, it's irradiated. Like, oh, I thought they were mean. And I'm like, let's just stick with this one.
No. You got to get the female. Get her flatten out and open up her mouth, man.
Yeah, when I open the cage, she just lunges and probably 3 feet out, just mouth open, trying to, get anything that her mouth touches. She's all
just
about
make contact with something.
Yes, that's all she needs.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing something, but that's the breakdown of what I have. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've always really wanted a diverse collection because I don't have the mental ability to focus on just something, just one species. I guess if I would, it would obviously be carpets, but I couldn't do that. There's so much cool shit out there. It's hard to just limit yourself to, one species. So
yeah, I know.
Maybe that's why I'm not as successful with the other species yet, but it's not a race. I figure I got plenty of time to figure out all the colubrids and the nuances of those and stuff. So.
Yeah, and with having that group of like Orthriophis, once you get one of them, it's like most of the rest of them are not too different from that. And then, if you said you got Kunashirs and all that stuff, kind of falls into line. So once you get the eye for one of them, it usually helps you knock down the dominoes for all the rest of them.
That's what I was thinking. So that's why a lot of the colubrid stuff I started out with more tropical species that I wouldn't have to get super cold. Then I have the Chinese beauties and like you said, the Japanese rats and all that. And once I figure those out, it'll be fine. But the Ridley eye, since I got those now, I'm pretty confident once the Taiwans and blues get up to size, I think I'll be okay with those. And that was the plan from the get-go when I got them. Those three, they don't need really cold temps. I just keep them in my Python room. I know that's supposedly, a lot of people say don't do that. I just keep them in here with no heat, and they do fantastic. So. And I mean, the Ridley I bred and produced eggs with, fertile eggs. So
yes,
something must be going on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I have a deep love for Ridley eye. I don't know what it is about him, just the contrast between the tail with the stripe, that stripe just like blazes down, and then the lighter color in the front end. I love that contrast. It's so nice. Yeah,
my male has more like that brighter color and the orange towards the head, that fades into the black and white striped tail.
Yeah.
My female has more of that Malaysian locality look where she's just more cream colored everywhere until she gets to her tail. So, I mean, there's not an ugly one. I know everybody wants the Highland animals and the super bright ones and stuff. Those are pretty too. I'm not saying they're not, but, I have an appreciation for all of them, and there's not an ugly one. So
for sure. I love them. And then, man, I can't even think of the name of it. There was that other locality. Was it Cameron? The darker one? I don't remember.
You mean the Cameroon Highland? Is that what you're talking about? Or is there another one? I've always known the Malaysian ones and Cameroon Highland ones.
Yeah, there's one. I think it might even be a different subspecies, but it looks like a Ridley eye, but it's all the colors are muted on it, like really, really muted. And those popped up a couple years ago and seem to be gaining popularity, which I'm like, why? When you've got these bright, you got these yellow ones, why would you want one that's gray? I don't understand.
You talking about the Grabowskis that's been floating around?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of different looks to those. There's ones that are, the color like you were saying, the grays and stuff. There's some that are green. There's some that are yellow. They're all over the spectrum. The variability within that subspecies is incredible. So it'll be cool to see how much work gets done with them, and all that, because there's so many species that we used to get regularly that we don't now. Like I said, I like the Colignathus stuff, and I would love to get a group of Timor rats, and they're just not around anymore.
Not
You can't
around.
find
Yep.
them. You know, there used to be melanistic ones and normal ones and all that. And good luck. I've asked tons of people, and they're always like, "Well, it's honestly not worth bringing them over. They're cobra food over there, and you know, it's like a $3 snake to them." And they're like, "Well, it's not even worth picking up. You know, it's not worth
Yep.
the bag space." So
Yeah, for real. It's really sad because I remember going to shows when I was younger and seeing trinket rats on every single table and radiated. It's like big radiateds, 5-foot radiateds, just like. And then you see the trinket on the table right next to it, and it's like, what little mini me? You got a little mini.
Yeah. Well, they'll hatch, like, you can breed them once as long as you keep feeding the female right. She'll lay. I think it's recorded up to like 7 clutches from one breeding. You know, like
Damn.
they pump them out.
That's crazy.
Holy crap.
That reminds me of the Kukri Snakes. I was talking to Kurt up in Massachusetts, and he breeds the Kukris, and I think he had a documented. He bred the female once. She produced 5 clutches of eggs off of that one breeding.
So
yeah, it's insane. Absolutely insane.
I'm glad people don't do that. Just saying.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's gecko breeding, but for snakes.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Breed them once, and then be very sad for the rest of the year.
Yeah. You have to have a whole rack just for all the trinkets that you're gonna hatch. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be too mad at that, actually.
It's honestly what I was hoping to do, but like I said, I can't get a female to stay around for me. So
everybody that's in the chat needs to go look for those now. The more eyes we get on this problem, the better. We need female trinket rat snakes.
Trinket rats. I haven't even seen any for sale in a hot minute.
Me either, man.
Yeah, I got one last year in Daytona, and she did great, and then she just stopped doing great. So
yeah,
did the Colignathus thing.
Yep.
Oh man. So I gotta ask too, because you also have those layer locale green trees. How are those things doing?
They're doing good. They're small.
Yeah,
I got they're smaller ones. So I actually have a clutch from them in the incubator that I've kind of been keeping to myself. Yeah, those are staying here. Anything that hatches, those are staying here. I had a lot of locks from that pair, and I wasn't sure. You know, because the female, like I said, is small. I got her in 2018, and she was pretty much the size she is now. And I mean, I've been feeding her and all that, and she's got to be 6, 7, 8 years old at this point. So when I got her, she was already green. So I was like, well, you know what? After reading the new book and how, you know, they don't need to be 1,000-gram monsters, you know, everything doesn't have to be a monster Biak female. I figured, hey, you know what? Let's see what happens. You know, the age is there, the mature Morelia head is there. I ended up getting a clutch of 7 from her, and 1 slug, but you know, 6 good eggs, and they're still doing good. They got about a month to go, so hoping for the best. That'd be really cool to produce those again. It's been a while since I produced green trees, so.
And then you get the double whammy hard part of trying to get the little babies to eat.
So that was the issue. So my first year ever breeding, I bred jungles and I bred green trees. And I had incubation issues with my incubator. I couldn't get the temperatures right because I just didn't know what I was doing. And I let the moms, you know, maternally incubate in both clutches. And I ended up with 17 babies. And yes, I could not get them to eat. And I guess I wasn't I wasn't in the circle at that point. So trying to get help and tips and all that. Basically, I would ask people and they're like, "Oh yeah, just send me the clutch and I'll get them eating, and then I'll take half of them." I'm like, "Well, that sounds like a terrible,
Yeah.
deal for me. Like,
Yeah,
just tell
right.
me what you do, like." But now I got enough contacts where I can call multiple people and hopefully be successful with it. They're going to be small. Those eggs are tiny, so they're
Yeah.
going to be
Mhm.
tiny. But I'm excited for the challenge this time and all that. It was actually that first clutch that made me have the idea of doing the Jagpondros. So like, oh, I don't want all these things to die again. Maybe if I put some carpet in there, they'll eat. And they did.
They'll have a will to survive.
Yes, and they did. So it worked out.
Look
Yeah,
at that, Rob. Not all hybrids are trash.
yeah. See, they're good. I can't wait to like progress that project, and then I can maybe I'll just start tagging Rob in all those pictures and everything I do.
No. No.
Man.
Well, just to make sure you see
Never.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just block me, right?
It'll happen, and then he'll avoid walking by your table. He'll go to me and be like, "Does Billy have any of those gross things on his table?" To which, even if you do, I'll say no, and then he'll come over and be like, "Yeah,
Trash.
You know what? I actually respect Rob a lot for that because he has his opinion on those, and I've had a lot of people online be like that, but then when they get in front of me in person and the animals are there, they completely change their tune.
Yeah.
And I totally respect that you're just like, hey, it's not my thing. I just, they are what they are. Do what you got to do, but it's just I'm not into it, So
Yep. Yeah, that's there's so many people who will talk a whole bunch of shit online, and then when they see you in person, oh wow, this is the greatest thing. Look at how amazing this thing is. I wow, and you're like, bro, you at least stay consistent. Like, come on. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Me and Billy can still be friends. I don't like that project, but we can
absolutely.
still be
Yeah.
friends. Like, there's so many people who get all weird about that shit, and they're like, I can't associate with you. And it's like, bro, come on.
We're keeping snakes in boxes for Christ's sake,
Yep.
It's not that big of a thing.
Now, I will say, if you start hybridizing bloods and short tails, I do block every person that I see doing that on Facebook. Like, I block every single one. I'm in the hybrid group so I can block people.
Well, I really don't have a desire to keep bloods at this point. So I think I'm safe on that.
you're good to
front.
go."
I like it. I like that. I like that.
So it's actually funny. Ryan is running his yapper there because that guy is always trying to give. He's always like, "Oh, breed it to a Woma. Breed it to a." He wants the big mongrel stuff. So I told him today, I'm like, "Here, I'll start doing all this stuff, but you're buying all these clutches."
Yeah,
But you keep having all these ideas, so we'll see how
at
that
a
goes.
premium.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right, we're gonna take a quick break to run our plug for our wonderful sponsors, Black Box Cages, and we'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Black Box Cages, located in Buford, Georgia, is your one-stop shop for all of your caging and rack needs. Owners Jen and Clint are at the helm of this fantastic company. With one of the shortest lead times in cage and rack manufacturing, Black Box can satisfy anyone's needs. From baby racks to V70s, arboreal and terrestrial caging to deep-fronted bioactive enclosures. You can find everything you need right here. New enclosure sizes and products are added frequently to their availability, so be sure to check back often. Black Box Cages have tons of customizing options for lighting and heating. Along with that, cages and racks can be stacked with metal stacking dowels, and all cage joints are dadoed for improved durability and stability. Most cage units are flat packed, but are pre-assembled prior to shipping to ensure a solid build every time. The Micro, XC18, XT3, Bio-G, and 3-stack V70 ship assembled, and all other racks are shipped freight and assembled. The XR16 and XR20 model racks allow keepers to mix and match tubs. Fitting both Vision and Freedom Breeder tubs, you can mix the V15, V18, and V35S tubs, or the FB5, FB8, and FB35CV SC tubs. This kind of flexibility allows keepers to raise their animals from hatchling to juvenile or subadult size before needing to upgrade into adult caging. Don't just take our word for it. Go to their website to see countless customer reviews and review videos from keepers all over. To learn more about Black Box Cages, follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Black Box Cages, and of course their website, www.blackboxcages.com. Links to their socials and website will be available in the podcast description. Boom! Go get yourself a fancy black box. Go do it. Go do it. And I think I saw Clint here in the chat a little while ago. So if Clint, if you're still here, what's up, man? Yeah, go get yourself a black box cage because they're awesome. They're wonderful, and I need to order more myself for my horrible Amazon tree boa addiction that is still growing.
They're cool snakes, man. They're fun.
How many Amazons do you have, Jeremy?
Oh, Rob. Let's see. 10, 13 or 14.
I thought you had more than that.
I did. I sold a bunch of the lower end stuff. I let a couple of
Thanks.
no, I was just gonna say I let a couple of like good ones go. You got one of the good ones. Who else? Kyle Halford got another one of the good ones. And then I just had like some like bleh, yellow stuff that like they came in groups, and I just wanted to establish them before I let them go. So now the ones I've got, I'm like very happy with, and frickin' Spitalski hits me up every time he gets new stuff in and is like, look at this one and look at this one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, can you not? Like,
Yeah.
please stop. Please stop. I'm trying to look at Roy Gresco's website and you're messing that up. Oh gosh. And then Dayton just hatched out some really cool red stuff from like a calico garden phase.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah,
those are really nice.
I was like, oh. But
I just had to talk myself out of annulateds. I was looking at those. And I'm like, eventually, but
yeah,
I need to wait and see how Daytona goes before I start spending more money.
I feel that.
Yeah. I love annulateds, man. Annulateds are such a cool species to work with. They're just like so interesting, and most of them are pretty freaking chill, which is awesome.
Yeah. So basically, an Amazon that's not acting like an Amazon. You know, what's not to like.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. 100%. 100%. I think. What did I say, Rob? I think I'm going to try to get like half the wall to be Amazons.
Mm-hmm.
Other part of the basement, so probably like 30 or 40 adult animals. Woo!
Nice. Well, I'm sure most of those will be stuff you produce too, because you know you'll definitely have holdbacks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for this carnage litter to drop. I forgot where we're at on that. I need to message Brandon and see where we're at on that. But I'm also eagerly awaiting Marshall Mendez to release some of those calico things that he has.
Oh yeah,
those are nice. Yeah, I periodically like send him a message. I'm like, "Did you sell any?" And he's like, "No, they're staying here." I'm like, "I'm all right. I'm just checking.
Don't forget me, please.
Yeah, right here. You know, right
keep
here.
Poking him like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I just like send him his own post. Man, these are sure nice.
Hint.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have. I guess I need to get into the Ultramel Clown project, so I don't have to spend money. I can just barter. I can just barter with Ultramel Clowns.
There you go. Yeah,
that's
a good
his
idea.
Project, man. So it's like, hey, man, I'll produce as many Ultra Clowns as you want.
There you go. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Those for some kick-ass Amazons? Absolutely.
Come on, man. Come on, ultra clown to ultra clown, get you all ultra clowns. What can go wrong? It's okay.
Yeah, ultra anything, honestly.
Yes.
Seems, yeah.
Yes. So here's something interesting while we're talking about Ultramel, but I'll keep it short because we don't need to talk about ball pythons. So Lenny has a Nerdline Ultramel that he bought when we were up there, Rob, and then he has some non-Nerdline Ultramel stuff, and they are very different looking. Like very different looking. The Nerdline Ultra is like much brighter, much more contrasted and clean, and there's nothing else in it. It was just an Ultra. So I'm interested to see if that translates, like if this just happened to be like a really spectacular example of an Ultra, or if it is a line thing and it translates when he breeds it. So just a little, not all traits are created equal.
It's actually a monarch.
Yeah, it's my turn now.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah, Casey's told me a little bit of that, the Ultramil Monarch debacle that's going on and all that.
All I know is that what I've heard is people are purposely not breeding them to keep one artificially inflated.
And there's the market for you.
Hey!
Hey, speaking of the man himself,
He lives.
Casey.
Hi, Casey.
Legend
You
himself.
missed the Bredl talk.
I think he was here, but I think he was on Facebook. And
Okay.
I can't respond to the Facebook comments on here. I can only.
Okay.
So sorry. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm not ignoring you. You're just, as Donnie would say, a garbage person. So come over to YouTube.
Jeez. No holding back. Goodness gracious.
Butthurt. Be butthurt.
He's getting ready for Animal Con.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Look at Billy.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, I won't be there. I know that. So.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna be a real fun couple weeks in Florida. Sheesh.
Yeah, that's good. I'm happy they have a place to congregate, and that's good. Hopefully, good stuff will come from it.
What I'm hoping is that they just all go to FWC and just break down the doors and they live stream it. And I'm not advocating for violence. This is purely hypothetical.
I was waiting for FWC to come up.
Yeah.
I figured that was one was going to get hit on. Yeah.
Look, Kevin's going down. That's all I'm saying. Kevin's going to be down there. So if anybody goes storm FWC, he's going to be the one to lead the brigade.
Everybody follow the boots and ponytail. That's it.
Yeah. Follow the purple camel cord.
Oh man.
Oh
Hell
man.
yeah.
Oh, Casey did miss the Brettles talk. Dang.
Womp,
Sorry,
womp, womp.
Well, he knows everything before anyone else does. Me and him are basically we're so close at this point. There's nothing that happens that I don't immediately send him, or vice versa.
Heck yeah.
You guys are like SpongeBob and Squidward. We're like brothers, but closer. And he lifts up his shirt and they're attached at the hip.
Actually, did you guys see the picture from Tinley where Foley and Alexandra, she was passing the baby to everybody, so there's like a picture of everybody holding their baby.
What?
You see that? No?
No, I didn't see that. Was this last Tinley?
Yes.
Oh, I was not there, so
Oh.
it made me sad to look at all the pictures. I was like, I wish I was hanging out with everyone right now.
It's okay.
Let's see if I can.
I moved a couple weeks later, so I had an excuse.
That's true. That's true. So
We're like there's always, because we hang out a lot, like it's just us, and we're like, well, people probably think we're a couple, which we're obviously not, but it's
was it obvious?
just funny.
Was it obvious though?
Look, I just want to say, I think it like every like every Tinley that I think I've been to, I've been able to find or now become aware of a photo that somebody else is in that makes me look less gay. And
You're welcome.
I'm
You
glad
are
the
welcome.
trend is continuing.
I'm happy we could help. It's just, we got each other's backs. That's what it is.
If you know what I mean.
It all wow.
Wasn't going there, Rob, but all right.
Oh my gosh. It all started with Kurt Schatzel. I got a picture of him. We were sitting at the auction and
Yep.
I was taking a selfie and Kurt like turned, but his hair flipped and it landed like, man, it landed fabulously. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Then it was like every year after that, I would see photos and be like, yep, that could be taken a different way. So
Well, like you said, the trend continues. What will this year bring? We'll have to find
It's gonna be
out.
me and Matt Bowers. I know it.
oh my god, yes it is. Dude, if he is not holding you by the beat while you're in a
yeah.
main
I do
Just
have the
embracing
mankini
you?
still.
oh man, this is we'll have fun. For anybody that's just joining the podcast, sorry.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens at these big shows.
What happens at
Yeah.
Daytona sometimes ends up on the internet.
Yeah, it's
Very true. Very true.
oh my god. So Billy, is there a species or a project with the species that you currently have that you're like looking at potentially getting into, or are you feeling pretty comfortable with where you've got stuff at right now?
I mean, as far as the carpets, I have a lot of the ingredients to do a lot of different stuff. So I'm pretty happy there. I'm pretty much at the point if something pops up, I'm like, oh, that'll fit really well. Then I'll get it, but I'm not actively looking for anything at this point. It's probably just more things to add to colonies I have. Like I want to get more green trees, more Amazons, obviously. Probably just more in that realm of stuff.
Hey.
Yeah, there's nothing that I'm fairly content, as much as I can be for now. So
as any reptile person can be.
yeah. It gets out of control pretty fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But are there any other species that you want to get into?
Well, I'm getting a sulfurous at some point. So I got my name on one of those. And obviously add to the South American colubrid stuff that I have already. So I want to focus on those and the spilotes, the tiger rats, they're both spilotes. Besides that, like I said, the tree boa stuff, so annulateds, rushies, stuff like that. Eventually, I'm not, that doesn't have to happen like tomorrow. Just in time, I got an idea for a cage that I want to make for arboreal stuff. So once I can figure that out and just stop thinking about it and actually act on it, that'll open the door for a lot more projects like that. So kind of want to do more of the arboreal stuff is what I'm kind of transitioning into at the moment. So
hell yeah.
That's
where it's at.
Yeah,
okay, dude,
go ahead, Rob.
No, I was just gonna say the Ruschenberger eye are badass. Annulated's incredible. All that stuff is just, they're so cool. And I'm not actively looking for one. I'm not passively looking for one, but one day I would really like a basin. I just love the way that the basins look, man. Yeah. And after getting to work with a couple of them, they're just like such an interesting snake. They're not underrated, but they deserve every ounce of admiration that they get. They're such an awesome snake.
Do you guys remember Chris Wolf on any chance? He was a green tree guy, probably a decade ago. He's local to me. He still has some stuff, but he hasn't bred in a long time. I went over to his place a few years back, and I didn't know too much about emeralds at the time. I just knew northerns were northerns, and you didn't want to you didn't want that bite.
Mhm.
And he had a basin, and he just reaches in, grabs it, and puts it in my
Yep.
hand before I can be like, "Oh no, man! Like I don't
Yep.
want to get stitches or anything." And this thing was so calm, and the greens were like I still haven't seen greens that green, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Just incredible animals. So yeah, that would be a really good one to get into. I'd have to have a lot better couple seasons with a lot of high end stuff to sell before I can, drop the coin on that. But yeah, those would be really awesome to get into at some point.
Hell yeah. Okay, so this is totally random, but I saw his name in the chat and remembered that he said I needed to ask you about drunk dialing people in Australia.
Oh man.
Oh,
Okay,
Lord.
so let's see who. All right. So I'm looking at the chat.
Here,
All right. So it's either
I can highlight it.
oh, Scott saw the picture. Damn it. Gosh. All right. So like I said, it was me, Casey, and Phil at Casey and Phil that were here at my house, and Phil always comes Saturday night, like really late. He doesn't get here till midnight, so naturally we're just gonna, hang out and drink and stuff till we usually go till about 4 or so. And we just decided, hey, let's just start calling people. So we called Rob Stone first, and he just happened to be in his reptile room, and like red lights were everywhere, and he was basically like doing the predator thing everywhere. It was awesome. He's just listening to us, just being ridiculous, and so Rob's awesome. So then we hung up with him, and we're like, hey, it's only like 4 or 5 in the afternoon in Australia. Let's call Scott. Like, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so you can only imagine how that pretty much as soon as Scott saw me, he was like, oh, had a couple to drink there, bud, huh? It's like I'm looking, my hat's all messed up and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, what's up, man? Yeah, all that crap. And I was like, oh well, before I embarrass myself more, let me just remove myself. It seemed like Casey and Phil ended up sobering up and were like asking them legit questions and stuff. And I'm like, I'm too gone for this. You guys have fun.
Bro, he's just like, look, you are a real one, man. I really like you. You
pretty much. It's like, oh, you like carpets? I like carpets too. Are we
dude, I love
now?
carpet pythons so much, bro. Like so much.
Yeah, pretty much. So
oh god,
yeah, it was good times. It was good times.
He said it was gold.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Luckily we it's cool that we can do stuff like that, and it's that's like how many like people can you hang out with? Hey, let's call some dude in Australia and just dick around for a little bit and have a good time, so
yeah.
True.
Yeah, that really is one of the greatest parts about this industry is like it really can connect us from all different parts of the world, literally. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I've made lifelong friends through this, so it's a really awesome hobby. Be careful what you wish for, Scott.
Yeah, just
be careful, buddy.
The floodgates are open.
Yeah, right. Daytona's around the corner. You can end up getting one with like 20 people on it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to organize this.
Oh, it's going down.
Gonna create a Facebook group, drunk dialing people from Expo.
That's it.
Daytona drunk dial.
Rob's gonna be the only person that's sane and sober through all of it. He's just gonna be like, I'm just here for the great footage, man.
Yeah, right. They're gonna be like watching. Yeah.
Who was that crazy dude with the big things in his ears. Oh, he wasn't drunk. He's just weird. He's just
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
the Daytona drunk dial is got a ring to it. I'm just saying.
It does. It does. It's very catchy. And we all hang out at so just outside the hotel when you go out of the lobby, there's
Gazebo.
like this gazebo thing. Yeah, we've
Mhm.
commandeered it the last few years. So there'll be plenty of people. So we'll just get Phil to call them and we'll just pass the phone around. There you go.
Hell yeah. It's the THN gazebo. They've dubbed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get like a sign or something for it.
Hell yeah.
Mark it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm.
What did Casey just say? He says, I'm down for Drunk Rant podcasting.
Okay,
So we have-
okay.
We have a
Daytona
rule with
last
Casey.
year? I was just gonna say.
Yeah, we have a rule for Casey now: no drinking on podcasts. Yeah, that's the last thing we need. We don't need the well, we call it the lost episode now because it got taken down.
Oh
Casey.
man.
Casey drunk at Daytona last year was a roller coaster ride. I'll tell you that.
Casey's fun to be around. He definitely is.
Hell yeah.
So you guys are coming to Daytona and Tinley
Yep.
this year? Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. All right.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely have to hang out a lot.
Hell yeah.
I'm down. I'm so down.
Yeah.
I took a whole week for Daytona, so I'm gonna be heading down on Thursday, heading back on Tuesday night. So
Nice.
I'm trying to do some field herping, like not in Daytona, but driving around doing some field herping and hitting up some reptile things in that area. I think we're gonna try and hit Gatorland. And
Yeah, nice. You gotta do the things, right?
Yeah, dude.
Do all the Florida things. Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm so excited. I haven't really taken like much vacation time in the last 10 years, so being able to do it is just like I'm so pumped. I'm so hyped.
Well, you should reach out to KJ if you want to do any herping. He's like a guru. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah.
Casey's gone with them and found so many things, Diamondback. Like they saw 5 bears last week, 5 black bears. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
last year they found or a year before that, they found a baby coyote, just like hanging out.
Just chilling.
They found an indigo on one of the tracks.
I'd poop myself. I would just soil myself.
Yeah. So I'm not inviting you to go with KJ without asking him, but it's definitely worth a message.
I'll message him, and it's totally okay if he says no. I totally get it, but I also would really like to herp with him. So
yeah, I've been out with KJ once, and it was like bang, like he knew exactly where to go to find exactly what we were looking for that time of year, and I was like, hell yeah, like damn. So yeah,
if you want to herp Central Florida, like there's not even anyone else to ask. Just hey, man, you got some free time? Let's go in the woods because he's already in the woods anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna try to catch him before he goes in the woods.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, take me with you, please.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, it's definitely
super
definitely gonna be fun. It's definitely
Hell
gonna be
yeah.
fun.
Absolutely.
And then Gendra just hopped in the chat. We got Puget Sound Pythons. I know that Kendra should be at least down there, and Jeff should be coming too.
Yeah, Jeff. He just told us yesterday or the day before. He just started a new job, so he wasn't sure.
Yeah,
and he was able to get the time off. So yep.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's gonna be dope. Rob, did you get the text from ZoomEd Tom the other day
about kayaking?
Yes.
Yes, dude,
Yeah,
I'm going. I'm so hyped.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's gonna be a fun week because I'll be down the same time frame you are, so it's gonna be a fun fucking week. Some
there's
shenanigans.
if you're going in freshwater, there's a good chance you'll see gators and stuff. Some wild gators. That's always cool. I mean, we kind of see them all the time here, but it's still cool.
I don't. I don't care.
And
I
we
want to see it
don't.
all.
We don't. We come from the land of no lizards. So any
Legit.
lizard at all.
You will definitely see plenty of lizards here. Yeah, you'll see
Even
all
just moving
the
here.
Cuban anoles that you could ever want to see.
Perfect.
Okay. So we got to have a competition to see who can catch the most Cuban night anoles.
Okay.
I'm
down.
already going to say Rob's going to win.
I'm gonna get mauled.
Yeah, but I've watched you catch
It'll be worth it. Yeah.
lizards and skinks and shit, and you're not even looking at them. So
He's good then. Okay.
yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
I like catching things.
Yeah, you've been recently you've been kicking ass on your herping trips, man.
Bro.
Doing real good.
I have done really well, but there's still a lot of days I've gone out and not seen anything. But today, while I was working, I got a call because everyone at my shop knows that I do snake stuff. And so if they get any weird snake things, they're like, hey, do you want to go do this? Because our company doesn't deal with that. And so I got a phone call like at my first stop this morning, and they're like, hey, a lady has a snake in her glue trap. She said she's going to kill it, and it's on your route today. Do you want to like head over there? And I was like, I'm calling her right now. I'm going over there right now. So literally I left that stop and went straight to her place. And she's like, there's a giant snake stuck in my garage. And so I go there, and it's like a 2.5 foot long black rat snake. It was tiny, but when I pulled up, I was like, oh man, it's not where she said it was. So I'm like looking around in the woods near her house, and I just found a beautiful male Eastern box turtle. And I was like, you are not what I was looking for, but hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it's like I said, or like Jerry was saying, we're not from a place that has lizards. So like everywhere I go, there's 5-line skinks and broad-headed skinks and ground skinks. And I'm like, losing my mind because they're everywhere.
Yeah, you'll definitely see some. You'll see a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And right now, the last 2 weeks has been lizard hatching season, because I have seen a bazillion of these 5-line skinks that are this long, like, 1.5 inches long. And then I saw baby green anoles like over the last like week or so, just like these little tiny anoles. And I was like, oh, look at that little grasshopper. Oh, that's an anole. It is tiny.
Yeah,
like,
they're tiny.
So tiny.
Yeah.
So cool though. I love herping. I just love reptiles. Yeah, that's it.
Obviously.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Okay, so we are winding down our time now, but we do have one question that we ask every single guest when they come on here, and that question is: under the great realm of reptiles, whether it be something that you've seen online or something that you're working with in your own collection, what is something that's got you excited about reptiles right now?
My most excited about probably my tiger projects with the carpets.
Dude, hell yeah.
I pretty much just about have every type of striped carpet, like coastal wise, that you can get your hands on. Besides pure Russians, it's a work in progress. But yeah, I have so many different routes that I want to go and I'm going to go. And I just want to see how far the stripe stuff can go. I have this idea that we've made, like Jason has done a lot of just super perfectly striped tigers, right? That's what he worked really hard to get to. And it took generations to get there. And then once he got there, just kind of, okay, well, did it. I think he got a little bored of it at some point. It seemed like he wasn't breeding them every year like he was. It was like, oh, let's move to this project, that project. I'm curious to see how far that, project can go. I hashed out a striped coastal last year that has a perfect stripe and then has the perfect 2 lateral stripes going down each side. And the last third of his body, that lateral stripe on each side disappears. So it's has like a jag look to it, but it's not a jag. So I want to see if I can continue on that, or just see how far the stripe can go. Is it just, it can only get to where it's perfectly striped and that's it? can we add stripes? Can we get the thick dorsal stripes to start going down the sides? I don't know. So, we'll see. And I have all the different lines that I can outcross, this line to that line. I keep the same phenotype, so I'm not losing the stripe while, keep going towards the goal. So I don't have to take a tiger and breed it to a banded animal because I'm worried about inbreeding and stuff. So that's what I'm geeking out over right now. I'll get super into it.
Hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. I love it.
I'd be excited to see what you could do with that project. Especially thinking about making the vertebral stripe wider. I think that would be that'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, I have no idea what it can do. I know Burke is doing it has the thick dorsal stripe, and then it'll have a pinstripe within that. So basically you're adding stripes to it. So he's trying to see how many stripes you can get to it. But nobody's really taken it that far yet. So to see where it can go, I mean, either worst case scenario, you make awesome, perfectly striped animals, like it's not like you're going to.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right? Like we're so fortunate that, especially Jason with the tiger line, because I think all the lines are different. I don't think a striped carpet's a striped carpet, to get that out there. But in that tiger line, he's done all the work for us, like so it's a lot easier now. So where when he started with that project, it would have taken 20 years to get to where we are now. Now we skipped that 20 years, and now we can really hone in on some ridiculous animals. So yeah, that's what I'm jonesing with right now. I'm getting really excited about.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And if people want to find out more about you and see some of the stuff that you're producing and some of the stuff that you talked about tonight, where should they look you up?
Uwabami Reptiles on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm playing around with that a little bit. And I have a website too, uwabamireptiles.com. I'm slowly trying to put, I have a projects page that I have some of the major projects that I'm on, and a few of them, you click on them and it kind of gives the history and a little bit of what I've been doing with them and what the plans are and all that. So I'm trying to do more of a old school carpet website type of thing. Because, that's what I came up looking at and adoring, so it's all right, well, that's what I want to do. So, of course, everybody wants the backstory on everything. Morelia guys are a sucker for a good story. So that's just trying to put that information out there. And so those are the places to find me. I'm pretty easy to find. You can always message me whenever. I'm always down to talk snakes. So open invite for anybody that wants to chat.
To drunk dial him at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Hey, if I know who you are, I'll answer. But if you message me, I'll talk to you. I think that's fair. That's
fair. That's more than fair.
Oh my gosh, dude! Thank you so much for coming and just talking about reptiles, man.
Thanks for having me, man. It's awesome to always talk to like-minded people. I can't wait to hang out in a couple weeks now.
Yes, I know. It's crazy. Time is flying by.
It really is. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Hell yeah,
man. So thank you so much for coming on, man, and we appreciate you coming and spending some time.
Anytime, guys. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Cool.